I saw a video the other day of a senator in Virginia who was basically fresh off the boat from India. And this guy this guy has drafted up a bill to ban so-called assault weapons. This is what is happening in our nation is immigrants are coming here and then getting the opportunity to take your rights away. If that's not conquered, I don't know what is. I think at this point, everybody knows no politician, no president, nobody is going to save you. At the end of the day, all these people have a greater agenda. There's a bigger picture that's been in the work for longer than we can probably even fathom. And having all of these people from all over the world, places we never heard of, bringing them here, that's fine. That's fine to them. On the left, we have them wanting people here to replace white people and to have voters. On the right, they want people here to have cheap work and have smarter people in the industry. Like politicians, they look down on us so hard. And contrary to popular belief, yeah, I voted for Donald Trump, but I'm not a huge Trump glazer. I don't sit here and always shill for him. Honestly, I rarely actually ever talk about him, to be honest with you. I try to stay pretty neutral. I like talking more about culture and local politics. But even him, talking about, we're going to bring over 900,000 Chinese students and we're going to deport everybody but hotel workers. And, we're going to keep the H-1B visa. And then now it's like we're starting this gigantic war in Iran. No new wars and all that. And at the cost of us. This new war in Iran got all these internal terrorists blowing shit up, at least trying. They're shooting people and all that. 3 terrorist attacks. I think it's 4 now in the matter of a couple weeks in March. The demoralization is insane. And then the Democrats, they love illegal immigrants. And ever since Donald Trump has started and pushed ICE and all of that, it's all they've been good for is standing against Trump and standing up for illegals, criminal illegals on top of that. We have sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. What is that? Where is my sanctuary as a citizen away from crime, drugs, high prices? Where's my sanctuary? None of these people give a damn. The demoralization is working. We are conquered. We have people from Somalia, India, Middle East, you name it, in our politics, making the rules. And they're pushing third world garbage. They're also pushing garbage that doesn't even make sense. Mamdani, he's a Muslim, so-called Muslim, and he is just opened an LGBTQ section of the government or some crap like that. Had some tranny up there during the inauguration of the organization to talk or whatever. That makes no sense. He might as well open up a liquor store while he's at it. I try not to talk about like everyone else as a whole. I don't try to be like, well, my whole generation is doing this and dealing with this, because I honestly don't know. I don't try to speak for the whole generation. I try to speak for my own experience, what I've seen, what I've researched, what I've heard, what I understand to be true, what makes sense to me. And I can only assume that this is affecting people a certain way, but I don't know. Nobody talks about anything other than what people like me and others are talking about on the internet. And I try to not take the internet at face value all the time. I don't know. You go online and everyone says everyone's struggling. Men don't have this and men don't have that, and women are this and women are that. And, then you go out into the real world and kind of look at people and how they act, and you could never tell that any of this is true. So I don't know. But for me, it is real every single day. And we're conquered. We're conquered. I mean, I go outside and I literally feel like I'm in a different world, like a different world. And so many people around me just straight up don't speak English. Like it's a melting pot. It's a melting pot, all right. And I feel like an outsider in my own city, in my own state. Like I said, Washington State is a sanctuary state. And it's crazy because we're one of the whitest states, but we got to have some of the highest populations of immigrants, because how do you have a world where Mexicans and Africans live next to each other? A Mexican shouldn't even know what an African looks like. We shouldn't even know what a Mexican sounds like. You feel me? Like, it's wild. And I just had an experience the other day where I tried to talk to this girl. She didn't even speak English. Forget the worst she could say is no. The worst she could say is no entiendo. We're conquered. We're conquered. And not only by foreign stuff, but by degeneracy. They've got our women, man. They've got our women. To the point where women are protesting on behalf of Islam and Palestine and wanting to get rid of ICE and just implement more gay stuff. What have they done to our women? And then these weak men are right behind them, trying to just touch a string off of their sock because they're that desperate for some, just to get some. And they will go completely just soft because anything to try to get that queen of a woman. There's no real standards among actual American citizens anymore. Like, we're so discombobulated and all over the place and have no morals, no standards, nothing to live for. It's just Satanism now. We used to be a culture that respected God and Christianity, and all that's out the window. Now it's literal Satanism, where it's like, do everything at the benefit of your own pleasure. No one else matters. It's only you. There's no morality. There's no morality. And meanwhile, all these people who are conquering us, coming from other countries, they have values, families, culture, religion, standards. Like, it's fascinating. Yeah, they might be from third world countries where they don't have much, but you know why their families are still intact? Is because the one thing they do have is standards, morality, culture, and tradition. Things that have been upheld in their nations forever, that made them prosperous as family units. Meanwhile, here, we don't protect the family. No fault divorce laws, abortion, family courts that are completely skewed against men. Nobody can really afford to have kids. We're conquered. We're conquered, man. And now we have politicians who are from other countries trying to take our rights away, trying to impeach Donald Trump, calling us Nazis, white supremacists, defending illegals, defending criminals. Meanwhile, you, Mr. Regular Average Citizen, good luck paying almost $6 gas. Good luck paying for 5 things that's like $30 at the grocery store. Good luck paying rent on some shitty apartment in some horrible neighborhood where you feel unsafe. Hopefully you can afford that, because the suburbs sure ain't for you, buddy. The suburbs is for the Somalian committing fraud. Go to a food bank. Go see how many Mercedes you see. I remember I talked about this same thing on Instagram. I had some dude threaten me, talking about, I know where you live. I'm coming for you. He went from Instagram to YouTube, leaving comments, making threats about how he's going to find me. And I've learned the more that you actually point things out and say it for what it is, and your own experiences, mind you, people will hate you. They will try to come for you. No one cares if you're just staying on point, staying with the narrative. I could sit here and be like, you know what? Yeah, ICE is terrible. We need to start protecting these illegals. Okay? We need to get rid of ICE. All cops are bastards. Donald Trump is, all the freaking corny garbage, man. Nobody would say anything. But I'm just frustrated, man. And after talking to that, well, not even talking to that girl, attempting to talk to a woman, like everyone says, go outside, get off the internet, go talk to women in person, I try, and she don't even speak English. That's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at, boys.